Much to your surprise, you land on your feet in a short corridor with a door at its end. You heave open the door to find an open room full of animal and human skeletons, and with a few stairs and with lanterns either side on the far end. You carefully trod through the piles of bones to reach the other side. You climb up the stairs and to the door and pull it open. You now find yourself in a short corridor similar to the first that leads into a bigger room. You can just about make out strange pools of green liquid, with some green smoke emitting from it inside the room. You walk down, and you walk around the pools of green. Suddenly, you catch a glimpse of a human-like figure in the darkness. You creep past it. It suddenly awakens and lets out a blood-curdling scream. It stares into your soul with its pitch-black eye holes and its wooden mask. This is a ReDead.
Ah!
Hey, Zelda, what are you doing here?
Oh, sorry, Apple. I'll just, go play Breath of the Wild with you.
Hey everyone, I'm Jacob, but you can call me Applesauce. And today we'll be talking about one of the scariest enemies in the entire Zelda series, the ReDeads. Undead creatures who first appeared in The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. During the beginning of the game, you'll find yourself in the Kakariko graveyard. You're tasked with jumping down the royal family grave, where you encounter the ReDeads for the first time. The ReDeads appear slumped over at first, their lifeless eyeholes gazing into the ground beneath them. When they spot you, they will let out a blood-curdling scream that sounds like the one you heard earlier. This will freeze you in your tracks, and they will begin to stumble towards you. And if they catch you, they will jump onto you and slowly drain your life until you can shake them off or perish. The ReDeads in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask resemble thin, brown corpses with wooden masks covering their faces. The ReDeads in Wind Waker, however, instead of being brown, thin corpses, they resemble monks with blue skin, red eyes, big ears with earrings, and no wooden mask. Finally, in Twilight Princess, the ReDeads are much more similar to Gibdos. They are tall and wrapped in bandages. It's unclear whether this was a misnaming or a new design choice. Either way, I won't be going into them today. But what are the ReDeads? How did they get into the royal family's tomb? And what's up with their blue skin in Wind Waker? There are a few possible reasons as to why they may have been found in the Hyrulean family's tomb. The first reason that could be that they are people who found their way in there before it was sealed and died down there. However, there are also skeletons down there that can talk but are not moving. Although the ReDeads could have appeared in the royal family's tomb because of some kind of curse or infestation. Imagine, for example, Kotake and Kuume cursed the royal family for some reason or another, causing their tomb to be haunted by immortal living corpses for all of eternity. Another theory could be that the ReDeads are just real people's corpses reanimated. This is probably the most likely, considering that we see them again later in Castletown after Ganondorf's takeover. So would that mean that they're a product of Ganondorf? Or a mystical force that causes some corpses in Hyrule to turn into ReDeads upon death? I suppose we may never know where this iteration of the ReDeads came from. In the Wind Waker's Earth Temple, there are coffins that line parts of the dungeon's walls. This game's ReDeads can break out of these and chase you with their big mouths, large ears and blue skin. Most people think that these ReDeads may be monks, Sheikah or not, although they do share a strong resemblance to the Sheikah monks from Breath of the Wild that will later rest inside the shrines for reasons we might never know. It's clear that these ReDeads were once humans. Why else would they be in coffins like ancient Egyptian mummies in this old temple? I like this theory because it has a lot of evidence to back it up. The ReDeads have large, stretched out ears, similar to Buddhist monks and the Buddha in real life. They were obviously religious in some way, otherwise why would they be buried in the Earth Temple of all places? The red eyes also seem to suggest that these monks are being controlled by Jalhalla, the temple boss who has red markings all over him, although he doesn't have red eyes. But why else would a corpse be reanimated and have red eyes like this? Also, Jalhalla has very similar markings on his ghostly body to those on the ReDead's shoulders. So could these supposed monks once have worshipped Jalhalla like a god before he became hostile? Or was he always hostile and they were worshipping a demonic entity this entire time? Since 2007, we haven't seen a major appearance of the ReDeads aside from a few cameos in other games and Smash Bros. It's a real shame because they're super interesting characters and enemies, and seeing them in the next Zelda game would be really cool. Let's hope the ReDeads can get the Gibdo treatment and return years later. Looks like you made it to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this dive into the ReDeads and where they may have come from, and tell me in the comments if you'd like to see me cover the rest of the incarnations of the ReDeads. And as always, subscribe if you're new, it really helps me grow. And hit that notification bell too if you'd like to stay up to date with my newest uploads. That's all from me. Peace.